I'm going to like play some music or something. It's live though, but something. Like turn this volume down though. Let me see what it's looking like on. Like, can we talk, bitch? I'm not Tevin Campbell. I walk in, I'm naked, I'm making an interest and know where the exit is. We kick them roads out, ain't no room service, we ain't bringing no breakfast. Got an oval office in my house, bitch. Some of y'all like a president. I'm talking Jefferson, Edison, Clinton, so much pussy look like I'm selling it. And the police know that I'm selling it. Oh, yeah, that's on me. And my nigga was stitching. And I had to jump. Okay, let me share it and then. We're not one and the same. We can write the same thing and I won't let the same. These bitches, they want me to wife them, but I just want them. Good bitches, they know me. It's all of my veins. They keep calling me babe. I said, that's not my name. $1 million followers, hope. That's not the same. I just watched off the chicken. So I can get 200, you can get like 4 times. God.
Hey,
who is you hanging? This on your own live? I'm like, who you talking to?
Yeah. Wow. So go to Facebook and go to Beats and Beers. Well, Brandon is going to share. I'm going to share it too. He's going to tag me and watch the interview because we're about to get started because it's 7:31, but we're Black, so we're never.
Yeah, let me. Wait, I didn't.
I never go live unless I'm doing something. I'm very intentional, very, very, very intentional. I'm gonna start going live though, especially since I don't work in music no more. I'm excited.
You said since you don't work at YouTube.
I'm very intentional, very, very, very. I don't have any intentional. I'm gonna start going live though, especially since I don't work in music no more.
It is weird.
I'm excited.
You said since you don't work at YouTube.
Are we live on Facebook?
It is weird. All right, I'm ready whenever you're ready. I was just sharing it. It was looking a little weird on my screen.
We ready now? Count me down.
Yeah. Wait, did you share it?
Did you tag me on Facebook?
Hold on. Let me tag you.
Hey, sister.
Oh, there you go. I just did it now.
On Facebook?
Yep. Hold on, guys. We're trying to get it all together, but here we go. I'm ready now.
Okay. Welcome.
Please, before we even get started, please feel free to write comments. And actually, I want to test out this feature anyway, so I want y'all to write a comment.
Here on mine. So thank y'all for joining us. My name is Martie. If you all don't know me, I think you know. But so my name is Martie. I'm a publicist. I own Role Model Publicity, and one of my best clients, favorite clients, is Brandon Corder, the owner of Beats and Beers, CEO and founder of Beats and Beers, and also the co-founder of Beats and Books. Brandon is very, very much so admired in his community, and every place that we go, as far as like how true to the brand that everything we do for Beats and Beers is, and like the vision and the storytelling, everything down to the marketing is very intentful and means something. So Brandon had this wonderful idea of sharing that knowledge with everyone. So he created the Build a Brand webinar series. He was going to teach people how to take their small ideas and go from a business to a brand, because there is a difference, and we're going to go over that. So Brandon, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became the branding expert that you are today?
Wow, that was a good introduction.
I try.
Yeah, so my background is in producing music, and I'm gonna try to speed through this as quickly as possible because it's a lot of years and a lot of story. But yeah, so having success with that, I guess like the whole marketing side of it came from like just wanting to push my own music and not having nobody else to really like push that for me. So like I feel like those are skills that I just picked up kind of just along the way or whatever. But anyway, fast forwarding, we my previous partner, we titled a project called Beats and Beers. That's what we named the actual album. And I always thought of the name obviously as more than just the album. So I thought of it as a brand. So 2015, Beats and Beers Festival was created, and then from there became an annual thing that we did at South by Southwest, grew into several different other types of events. I met Marty and the team we have today along the way, and here we are today. Plenty of partnerships and all that types of stuff in. So transformed to a lot of things now.
And that's important. So can you explain to people we'll start the foundation of building a brand. And I think I mentioned it before. To you, what is the difference between a brand and a business? Because I think some people think, once they have this name, this logo, this EIN number, something like that, okay, now I'm a brand. I have to protect my brand. When really that's not it. To me, as a publicist, a brand is a promise. A brand is what, no matter where you go, that business or whatever service is going to provide the same thing. You could go to Chick-fil-A in any state and you're going to know they're going to be nice to you because that's part of their brand. Right. So as you work into something to where you bridge music and events and all that together, like when I pitch you, I always put the ultimate people facilitator. That's your tag. So what was your thoughts when you went from taking this as something as simple, not simple, but music to an actual brand? Like what were the steps in that?
Well, so I thought of it, right? So it started as a music festival, but I always thought it could be like so many different things. And I feel like to kind of cross many different like lanes or whatever the case is, it needs to be a brand. There's plenty of businesses that you don't recognize. But if you have like a brand, a household brand, I felt like that could cross over to many lanes. So that's like that could cross over to merchandise, that could cross over to just many different just different lanes and different things. I mean, like we work with so many different like types of companies because it's a brand. I wanted like you to be able to see our logo from however far away and you can't possibly read it, but it's the logo still. So I just feel like a brand is something that's just way more recognizable than, just having a business. Anybody can, have a business, but it doesn't mean it's a brand. Same thing you said.
So how do you stay true to, and if y'all are looking, like I have two phones, so I'm live over here answering texts over here.
It is cool.
So it does work. Hey, Taylor. Shout out Taylor Ray. She's actually one of the brands we partnered with before. She has a wonderful Black-owned vodka company called Red Rose Vodka. She has supplied Beats and Beers she was one of our sponsors through our at-home series that we did at the beginning of COVID, and it's absolutely amazing. Brandon didn't think it was going to be strong.
Yeah, man, it was definitely strong. And yeah, shout out to Red Rose Vodka. I mean, I'm very, very, very proud. Even when I got it in the mail, like the actual pack. I mean, speaking of branding, like the actual like packaging and stuff like that, I was very impressed with.
Yes, so everyone go check out Red Rose Vodka. She's amazing. Like I said, Black-owned female business in Charlotte. So shout out to Taylor. So, okay, one thing that's very important to know, one of the reasons I was very much so excited to work with you was that throughout everything that you did, even down to, like you said, the logo and everything, you were very true to your vision, no matter who you partnered with, no matter who was on that stage, no matter what festival or event we were at. Beats and Beers has a core. It has a story. How do you, as a brand owner who's always wanted to evolve and grow and, get that, next big look or anything. But how do you do all of that while still staying true to your brand vision and, what your brand actually means to you?
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's times when it's been tough because a lot of the mistake that a lot of businesses make. I feel like desperate times, you just start doing things, and you may find some things that like just make some money real quick, but could be damaging to the brand in the long run. But for me, I mean, I just always believed in staying true to that. Luckily, I can see like the end. I look at the end vision a lot, and how my current moves will affect what happens in the future. So just because it might have been like some down times, it's not going to stay down, but you just have to think. I think about like, how is that going to affect me in the long run? How is that going to affect the brand in the long run? How is partnering with, so and so? How is that going to affect that? How is that going to affect? So I look at just all the details and just thinking about the long run. Like, you have to keep that in mind, and first and foremost, like, how will this affect me down the road? Like, if I had all the money in the world, would I still make this particular move?
Gotcha. So how does one, let's say I'm a brand owner, I'm just starting out and I'm starting to get some notoriety or get people interested in working with me, but realistically, money is a thing. So how important is it to understand, leverage in situations like that, or what you have to offer to where you could still work with someone that might not be 100% on board with you, or as far as 100%, in your wheelhouse, but you still make the best of it. Because I know personally, we worked with situations to where we're like, I don't know if this is us, but we were able to try to, kind of finagle or finesse something to where it's still.
Yeah. I mean, there's some loopholes sometimes where you feel like you can bend a little bit, or you can compromise a little bit. I mean, yeah, granted, like, there's people we work with, and I'm going to be completely honest. I mean, some people we may have put on, a certain platform, and others we may have not, like, and it was just because we had to keep that one a little more tucked away than the other. But I mean, there's loopholes to it, of course. And I mean, I wouldn't have never like did anything that was damaging to like the brand, like that would affect it, long term. Now there's things that I'm like, dang, this might be beneficial to us in the moment. I don't know about, the long run, but it wasn't something as damaging as like, oh, people will still remember this years from now or whatever. So you got to decide like if the risk is, kind of worth it and what's involved, situation by situation, but never anything that's going to like do any long-term damage for sure.
Yeah, I have you in court for losing like everything that you have. We've come close. We've come very close. Very close. So you mentioned before, you started off as far as like in music and you had certain partners, and then it's kind of evolved into the team now. Where, as a brand owner, how do you figure it's the time to start building that trust to let other people in to have a say so or have a hand in, in your brand, to where they can speak for you sometimes when you're not there, or, make decisions or bring things to the table that kind of could go left or right. So where at one time do you figure, it's time to bring people in that could possibly drop the ball or, slam dunk it?
Man, that takes a while. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, especially when it's like your baby and it's like you're trying to trust, other people with, your brand and speaking for you and all of that. I mean, before we got to like, where we're at now, I mean, I've been through like several different, situations where I had, people, speaking, just on my behalf. And I mean, without my permission or whatever the case is. And it's like, I get word back that it's, all types of stuff, being said. So it's hard to trust people with, your brand and something that you created. But one thing I will say is that you get to a point where you definitely, need a team, and obviously people you can trust at the same time. And so for what we have now, like I trust any of y'all to speak on, my behalf or whatever the case is. I think y'all are probably more protective on who's speaking on the brand more so than me at this. But yeah, if you're constantly evolving and you're trying to get to a certain level, like there's no way you're going to get to like it's going to be a certain point you get to is like just like you can't do it by yourself. So you got to at some point, no matter how much you're gonna have to go through different people. Man, you're gonna have to go through different people to figure out, the right people. So,
but that's almost like a word as far as like you have to go through different situations to where you realize, this situation might not work with my brand as far as partner. I think people are the same because I know all of us have our own things going to where, but they all contribute to, the brand, which is really, really important.
It's very much so like personal relationships. I mean, if you in a relationship with somebody or, even in relationships with friends, I mean, you have to go through those certain situations to kind of figure out what it is that, you're looking for. And you just have to experience those types of things. So, you just get better at it with time.
So when did this turn from, just a business of you seeing what you could do with bridging music and your ability to bring people together to where you said, I'm going to get serious about this and build a brand that actually can create some movement within
so I don't even think
states of the world right now.
Yeah, I don't even think I really spoke on what I'm about to say, but I'm about to speak on it because it's an important part to the story. But so I had a partner and we went our separate ways. And at this point we had done 2 Beats and Beers festivals at the time. But anyway, we parted ways. And so the brand, we had Beats and Beers, but it was like a sub like type of thing to what we was doing. It was like the main focus or thing at the time. And so once we parted ways, I had put so much into Beats and Beers. And I'm like, nah, this is what it is. This is the new thing, what I'm saying, for me. Like this is gonna be like my main focus. This is what I'm gonna put, my all into, and this is what I'm going to just build. And from there, it was 100%, Beats and Beers from there. And I think like I had a talk with like one of my friends. He called me one day and I'm just like, I don't know what I'm about to do, blah, blah, blah. He like Beats and Beers. Like that's what's next for you. And from there, I ain't look back.
So on paperwork, and I'm pretty sure this is something that you're going to talk about in your actual class. On paperwork, what is the difference between just a business and a brand? Like on legal paperwork, what is the difference as far as like just having that business that's operating versus actually a brand that you are projecting into the world and have to protect?
I don't know, man. That's a difficult question. Yeah, so in terms of on paperwork, a business is just on paper. A brand is more so like, yeah, that's what you're protecting. You're protecting your identity, pretty much like in terms of a brand. So I would say like the brand isn't really paperwork. I would say the brand is more so like how you're identified more so than anything.
Trademark. If I'm just a regular business owner, should I worry about having trademarks, or is that something?
Okay, well, yeah, that's something. Yeah, okay. So yeah, definitely. In terms of branding and trademarking, yeah, you should definitely have a trademark. And that was something I waited so long to like do it, and I should have been like done it, and I totally took a risk that I shouldn't have taken. And luckily for me in my situation, it worked out, to trademark Beats and Beers. And I mean, I've seen Beats and, you know, a lot of different things after we were already in motion, after we been around the country, been around, you know what I'm saying, everywhere, different variations of whatever. And I should have been done that. But one thing I did learn is that you really don't, and there's really nothing you can do about it if it's not trademarked. So that's definitely, I mean, building a brand, especially, like you put all this work into it and then it's not trademarked and then anybody can just like run off with it. So that's one thing I am very, very proud of that we finally accomplished. So no, definitely the importance of trademarking. I mean, I didn't understand it and I was just moving, you know, how most people just move along. But no, the trademarking process is important to any brand.
So what part? So we're in the phase now to where, you know, and then when I say we, I mean me, like if I'm a student and I'm working with you as far as like branding, I'm in the phase now to where I have things trademarked or I'm even building things and people are starting to notice my brand or my business, and I have, you know, the movement. When is there a certain time where a brand should feel comfortable to where they can start branching out and working with others? Like for instance, you worked and done a lot with 810. You have Halo Burger. We have the soccer team. We have a lot of things connected to Beats and Beers to where if someone didn't know better, they would pay attention to, like, you know, those bigger conglomerates, right? Or they would pay attention to the bigger name, but still Beats and Beers is like whatever we're presenting, we're the foundation of that. So when should a brand owner feel comfortable about branching out to where they work with either bigger brands or other brands, but still stay solid in their name?
Man, that's something I had to learn because I'm not gonna lie. When I was trying to do the first Beats and Beers Festival, like I was trying to reach out to people. I was sending a deck, like, and everything, and I was not understanding like why these people weren't like reaching back to me. And it's because, man, you gotta put some points up on the board, you know, first. And it was like I had this great idea, I thought I had this great name, and people were going to just jump on that. But it's like a lot of people got great names. A lot of people got, you know what I'm saying, similar ideas or similar things have been done. So the thing about it is before partnering or trying to partner with another brand, I had to learn how we could be of value to other people first. And so that's with putting putting points up on the board. I mean, and then like, cause it's gonna be different for each business, each brand, each person or whatever. And I think the point where it's time to partner is when you can actually come to the table and you offer something more. You can offer them and it's mutually beneficial. You know, like a lot of people just want to partner and then they can't get nothing. Like the person you're trying to partner with is getting nothing from you, but they just giving everything. So how can a lot of people don't go to the table offering, you know what I'm saying? They just go trying to get whatever they're trying to get.
Speak about the importance of consistency when in brand.
Man, consistency is everything. That's what has gotten us, you know what I'm saying, this far. I mean, consistency, and you can't break from that. And just like we was talking about a little bit earlier in terms of like either partnering with other people or doing things that you know, doing things just for like some money or whatever the case is. Like you got to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, you have to be consistent, and it don't matter if it might be the longer road to take, but it's gonna pay off in the end when you're actually consistent. Like you have to stay the course. You have to stay your course. And you know, a lot of people gonna try to sway you along the way, sway you to do this, sway you to do that, partner with this person, partner with that person. And it might not make sense, you know what I'm saying, for your brand. So you have to understand what actually makes sense for your brand and is it the question I always ask myself, like, is this going to take us to another like level? How is this going to benefit us getting, you know what I'm saying, somewhere else? Or how can we leverage this to, you know what I'm saying, get something else or it be beneficial? So yeah, man, you got to be consistent.
I know one thing we draw pride on, and one thing we're very, very, very consistent about is the aesthetic of Beats and Beers. You know, you can tell a Beats and Beers logo from, you know, our logo or a Beats and Beers flyer, no matter how much we change as far as like, you know, themes or anything like that for shows or events. But we always get comment on how clean our stuff looks, how, you know, this ain't no Crayola pixel art stuff, like this, you know, how important are the aesthetic, you know, even so when we partner with people, they taken on, you know, our aesthetic as far as like how we market. If it was something that we truly own, they adapted to that because they saw the reach of it, especially with how engaged, you know, our audience or base is. So as a brand owner, even with evolving and trying to grow, what are the bases that a person should know? And I'm pretty sure you teach this in the class about brand aesthetic and how important it is to where when you are launching something, it looks the part.
Man, let me tell you, the aesthetics is like, that's my favorite part of it. But the aesthetics are, I mean, literally everything. Like you want to keep, I mean, just like we just talked about consistency, the aesthetics have to be consistent. A lot of people, and one thing I have to do, I have to give credit to one of my good friends. He designs a lot of stuff for us, James Pen. And he taught me a lot about aesthetics, and I feel like it helped improve my eye on my own when I'm just looking at, you know what I'm saying, different things and art, and like I'm really into like different fonts and all of that type of stuff now, but people don't really pay attention to a lot of times to those like details. I mean, you have to be like, it's down to every single little thing. Like you have to know, you know what I'm saying, about like, or be able to look at fonts and be like, no, that's not, you know what I'm saying, that's not it. People don't know, but we use this same font every time. And a lot of things, people are not going to, the average eye is not going to just recognize and be like, oh, that's the same font. That's why it always look the same. But
it's to that, like it triggers. It's a familiarity thing.
Yeah, like you'll look at it and you won't even know why you know it's a Beats and Beers like thing, but you know it's a Beats and Beers like thing. So aesthetics are very important. I mean, look at this like whole live thing, how we kept the whole black and gold, you know what I'm saying, theme. Like that consistency is important. And I try to like, I'm big on that, just keeping it like whatever we're promoting, like let's keep that same aesthetic. Like I want it to be, people scroll so fast through social media. So if they scrolling by, they already know, you know what I'm saying, what's ours without even having to stop and read it. And that's because of the aesthetics. Like you can already see it without having to like do too much. Like I'm big on not having these big old crowded flyers with 50 people on them.
But that's dedication, because you know some people would take the easy way out and put like, you know, okay, we got one flyer with everybody on it and that's it, just put it out there. But you know, to where we've literally been changing flyers like what, the day before the show because somebody's name was spelled wrong or they wanted to put this and, oh, can you put Whitney, things like that. And just the idea. So I know that's very important. And we always get, again, commented as far as like to where we never have an issue with anyone wanting to post our flyers or even like, you know, bigger names. Like there's never been an issue with that.
Yeah. And it's all about the aesthetics, man. It's just like keeping it clean. And you have to know, like, I hate when I see like any type of promotions and there's no real focus on it because there's so much like going on and you like, okay, what's the date? What's the time? Like you can't even find this stuff on the flyer because there's so much like going on with it and there's no focus. So aesthetics, man, is everything. And I mean, it's not even just like a flyer. It's like everything that you do, whether it's like merchandise. I mean, aesthetics is even in terms of like when you go to the actual, you know what I'm saying, event. I mean, everything should reflect, you know what I'm saying, pretty much the same.
I know, again, one of our points, and I'm speaking from a place of privilege, I guess, because I know your brain and how it works. But one of our biggest things is, yes, we do these music shows. Yes, we're a part of these festivals. Yes, we're, it's hundreds of other stages and people there. But our main thing is customer service, whether it's to the artists that are performing, whether they're a large name or indie name, whether it's, when we do an event. Because I think sometimes what separates people's, as far as like a brand and a successful brand, is like everything could look great, but when it comes to their event or what they do, something falls. It can't stand up. So how important is it to you, and why is it such a really hot topic for you to make sure that the idea of a brand carries through from not only from the look of it, but to the actual event or the actual end game of it?
Man, it's aesthetics again, and yeah, like you said, the customer service is important because one, man, a lot of our stages, like a lot of these artists never they never got to perform, you know what I'm saying, on the same stage as like these headlining people or some of these other people that we're featuring. Two, let's just be honest here. A lot of probably won't, you know what I'm saying, ever get that, you know what I'm saying, that chance again. So if they can come to our show and we can make them feel like, you know what I'm saying, like this is the biggest show of their life, then I feel like that's very like rewarding, not only to me, but to them. Like they'll be back again and they'll go tell everybody about, you know what I'm saying, about us and whatever the case is. And that, I feel like that just travels, you know what I'm saying, everywhere. Like it's so many people that I ran into, like I run into them out of town or whatever, and they'll be like, either they perform, they know somebody who performed, they done been to our events, they on the email list, they on whatever, you know what I'm saying, the case is. And it's all because, yeah, they know us for a certain, you know what I'm saying, certain thing, customer service and the aesthetics.
I think a good thing, as far as like, working the events, one, what makes us stand out is, we're not the average, like, okay, all of our headliners or known artists are at the end of the show and everyone else is at the beginning. We mix everybody up. We make, again, when is somebody going to ever say they got to perform after Zaytoven or like after Trader Truth or whomever, and still had the same crowd and the same energy there for them as a person who literally just started in their career. And then also, it's a lot of people who travel with us. Like they don't have to, but they choose to. One, because they know we're going to do the most on our part as the protectors of this brand to actually make sure they get a good turnout. People are there. We make sure we have good media there, a good coverage. Our marketing, pre and post show is on point because, like you said, we've all bought into or understand the importance of customer service to actually create something to where no matter what happens, we have these people following us. I mean, no one could predict what happened with South by Southwest this year. And to have people who are okay with still wanting to be a part of it, they're not worried about the money aspect, or they're okay with, whenever you guys come in, because they know what they're going to get it speaks very much so highly as far as, how people respect the brand and actually what Beats and Beards have grown to be. So that's a really good point. But so let's go back as far as like to where anything that you do, you try to think of the end game and how it's going to affect, the actual brand in the end, whether it's a partnership or you choosing to add another layer to something. So in the course, what are some of, I guess, if you could go through what you're going to teach people in the course. Well, first, explain what Build a Brand is. What is Build a Brand?
So I had this idea for a while, and I was just kind of like sitting on it. And just to go back, so I had this idea, and like I didn't have anybody who like told me like to do this, do that, or like a mentor in this particular area that was like, man, do this. And I'm from Flint, Michigan, very small city, where the music industry and this type of work really don't exist for real. So I've moved to both New York, I've moved to LA as well, just in pursuit of like learning these different things that I didn't necessarily grow up around. So build a brand for me was like a lot of people would come to me asking me like just like the inboxes where it's just like they're asking me a bunch of like different, questions or whatever about, pertaining to their brand. So I'm like, man, I really need to like do something to where I can, do it. And I feel like it's actually going to be beneficial to this person, of course, but also beneficial to me to where I actually, get something out of it because I'm taking the time out to actually do this on like actual research and stuff that, I've done. But yeah, so that's where it came from. And then I was having a conversation with my best friend one day, and she was like, man, you just need to do a course. And this was like completely just random. I'm like, cool. That was confirmation for me. So I'm gonna just go out and I'm gonna just do it. And you know what I'm saying? See how it go. But most importantly to me, it's just about teaching, other people these things that I had to do to get to where we're at now. All these different like little like, and it's just little things, little struggles, and then I just know along the way, like you're gonna get discouraged, and it's like you could be completely doing the right thing, you know what I'm saying, but you just need somebody else to like push you along the way and show you like, okay, like you're doing the right thing. You just got to stay the course. And I made a post the other day saying that a lot of people don't succeed simply because they just don't stay the course long enough. And so that's the case for a lot of people. And I mean, it's going to be a lot more downs before you experience, some ups, or it's going to be a lot more downs anyway than ups anyway. So yeah, you just need, people to really tell you like, hey, you on the right path. I experienced that too. This is what you need to do. If you tweak this, you tweak that, then, you'll be good. So that's what, build a brand is about to me. And for me, it was like you get a lot of people in your inbox that's not necessarily serious about it. And then you like kind of waste your time trying to tell them blah, 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 blah. But it put it in this format and you get to see who really, serious about, you get to see who's really serious in terms of like who's willing to go the distance to actually learn and perfect their craft. And then those are the people that, I really want to talk to in terms of like, I mean, if I'm going to put some time into it, I really want to make sure it's people that's actually serious about what it is that they do.
Is it just for music or like events or anything like that? Is it centered to that or to any and everybody?
Yeah, whatever it is that you do, no matter what. And I feel, I mean, look at what we're doing now, working with Gift of Life, Michigan, which is an organ donating, organization. Working, man, I wish I could announce the next things. Working, no, not yet. Working, with like different, saying things in sports, different things in food, different things in music. But yeah, man, once you have a brand, like that brand can travel across a lot of different, a lot of different areas or whatever the case is. So no, it don't pertain to just music. And I feel like these rules apply to whatever it is that you do. You know what I'm saying? It don't gotta have nothing to do with music. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these branding tactics apply to, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is that you do.
So in building your brand so far, and it's a continuous thing, we pivot all the time. I mean, we had to, of course, with this, but you know, just as far as growth, what has been your most beneficial loss so far?
Beneficial loss?
Yeah, and I said, like, what loss have you taken to where the comeback from it or the lesson from it is probably what pushed or catapulted you?
I feel like there's been so many losses. I don't know, but I will speak on one in particular. I remember we were doing a show in LA, and I ended up. It was a show. I mean, was 2 shows. You probably thinking of one, but it was one before that one. So it was a show in LA, and I remember literally saying, like, because it just kind of spun out of control, like the artists were like taking, you know what I'm saying, longer times than they were supposed to. The headlining artists wanted to go on earlier, so it was like, you know how it go when the headlining artists go on before everybody else, is like everybody else get to leaving because that's who they came to see mainly, and then they don't want to perform because they got to go after the headlining artists, and it, you know, it just becomes a disaster. And a lot of people don't know how many people we actually got to deal with, you know what I'm saying, during these particular shows. But I remember after that show, I was like, man, I don't even know if I want to do this no more. Like, I don't know. But then I woke up the next day, like, what else I'm gonna do? Like, I don't got anything else to do. But yeah, and I mean, I lost money, you know what I'm saying, old people, you know what I'm saying, all of that. But man, when you passionate about something, those losses only make you stronger. It only make you want to keep going. It only make you, you know, more strategic at it all. And I mean, those losses are lessons, you know what I'm saying? You learn through it all.
Awesome. So tell people, I guess, if you could give a overview of what they're going to learn in this course, outside of like just branding, like how intense is it going to be? How, how is this course going to look to where a person can say, I find some benefit in that. Let me go ahead and sign up.
Yeah, it's not going to be intense. Let's say that. It's not going to be necessarily, I don't want to use the word intense, because I mean, it's going to be like definitely straight to like the point. Like what are you doing, first of all? Where are your goals, and what are you trying to do? And how can we outline a plan to get you there? And a lot of people don't understand marketing, branding, logos. Like a lot of people don't understand like those types of things and how they play a part. And they think like, oh, I can just go in Word and make me a logo, and that's going to, that's going to qualify. So just showing like some of the tactics, marketing tactics, what some of these brands are looking for, like statistics and stuff like that, numbers and all that type of stuff, the stuff that really matters. Because a lot of these people, we can be creative as we want to, but if we're not going in these rooms showing them like some actual results and some numbers and all of that, like it don't matter, because that's all they care about. They don't care about how creative, you know what I'm saying, you are. You creative, that's great. But is that going to make me some dollars? You know what I'm saying? Is that going to make me some money? And so that's a lot of times that's what they care about. A majority of the time, that's what they care about is the, you know what I'm saying, is the bottom dollar. You know what I'm saying, period. 90% of the time, that's what they care about. And if you can go in and improve that you're that beneficial, then you can get any sponsorship, partnership, any of that that you want. So those are the things I want to, you know what I'm saying, teach people. I kind of want to, you know what I'm saying, personally cater it to certain people so they can ask their questions and get information that's specific to their particular brand. I really want to dig into it that way, so it's personal and they understand like information that's specific to them. But coming out of it, I hope that people will take heed in terms of learning just different branding techniques, things that you can do, you know what I'm saying, consistently, that's going to take things to, you know what I'm saying, the next level. And that's what we're trying to do this year anyway. And I mean, not just for them, but we trying to do it for ourselves. So next level. Yeah, huh?
Is there a PR part?
Is there a PR part to the building? Oh, we gotta say we can't give them all the game at one time. No. we gotta say something so we can have a part 2, and you know.
For the ones who graduated.
No, actually, that's a plan though. But that's a plan.
This one, they get to go into where now you built it and you have an idea and a story. Now you have to start looking for people to help you push it out.
Yeah, like, and that's another thing. A lot of people think they're ready for, and I mean, you can speak to this more than me, but a lot of people think that they're ready for, you know, PR, you know, ready for a publicist, and they're not even at that point yet. You know, what is this? What do you have to even be pitched? So I'm trying to get them ready for the pitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where we leading them up to. We leading them up to the pitch. Then when you got your product, you got the branding down, you got the story behind it, then it can actually be pitched.
Awesome. So tell everybody, you know, dates, where they can find it, how can they sign up, registration process.
The course is happening tomorrow. The link is actually right below where we're talking. This beatsandbeers.com/build a brand. And, you know, it's very simple, very easy to sign up. I mean, I'm not going to be going crazy on nobody because ultimately it's up to you. Like, it's what you want to do. It's your brand. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm still sleep good, or it's whether you take the information or not. But I'm going to give you some valuable, you know what I'm saying, information that I guarantee that you can apply, and it may help you skip over some obstacles, you know what I'm saying, that I had to go through, that I didn't have nobody telling me what to do, you know, or us to do in a lot of, you know what I'm saying, situations. So that's what you can take from it. And yeah, the register link is right below us talking.
Well, I'm glad you did it. I'm certainly proud because I've been there where people have asked you, how'd you do this? Tell us about Beats and Beers. And I know that's a question.
And it's just like, yeah, I mean, I want to, because I understand the question and I understand the need. But it's like, how can I wrap this up in one thing, you know, where I can just give it to the masses or the people that really, really want it at one time?
And I think it's important. I mean, people see, you know, they hear music and they hear, you know, events or tour, and they just think, oh, it's just one thing, when really everything that we do is very much so on vision with us, because the main basis of Beats and Beers is people. It is bringing people together through any kind of medium, whether it's education, whether it's music, whether it's, you know, health, whether it's public service or anything like that. And it just ends up being dope. So I think that's our brand, is, you know, just.
Yeah, definitely is. It's ultimately it's based on community. You know what I'm saying? It's bringing people together, whether that's through music, whether that's through food, whether that's through, you know, however, uniting people. And that's, you know, that's what's made us golden throughout this whole thing, is like, no matter what, we can move through whatever realm and unite people of all backgrounds, pretty much.
Yeah, we really did. So that was cool. All right. Well, everyone, please go check out beatsandbeers.com, build a brand, get some more information on it so you can get some advice from Brandon on how to take your idea to a brand. Working with him, I'm not saying this because I'm biased, but definitely great. Even as a publicist, I reached out to him, which is never which never happens just because
Yeah, that was like, quick story. No, that was like, I was like, who is she? Because at the time, like you asked about the whole team thing, but I had just came from like a situation where it was like, man, I am straight. Like, you know, people just be whatever the case, whatever, and they not really, you know, dedicated to the cause as much as I am, or they just got their own, all these other intentions.
Yeah.
So at that time, I definitely was like skeptical, like shit. I don't know, but no, it turned out to be, you know what I'm saying, a great thing and very, very, very beneficial. And yeah, so yeah, it turned out to be very, very beneficial. So, I mean, but yeah, sometimes it's like that. You have to just be open and very much, you know, take a risk, take a chance, and you know, the right people and the right things come along eventually. So,
well, we're here, and we stayed the course, and we're gonna keep doing it and keep building, keep building, keep building. But thank you
yeah,
so
man, we got some very exciting things
much.
coming up.
I'm
Very
excited.
exciting. Like I
Really
wish.
going. Like we're gonna have other people on here. I kind of like this thing, you know.
No, I do too.
I have some other brand owners on here, you know, getting their insight as far as, you know, having another stream of communication and bringing people together. So I think we stumbled upon something here. I'm excited.
Man, yeah. So look for more announcements from Beats and Beers coming. Really, I mean, like sooner than soon. I mean, like sooner you gon' if you blink, you might miss it soon. But no, we got some really big things coming up. Like we talked about partnerships and stuff like that, but some really good partnerships that I'm really, really, really proud of coming up. So.
Well, thank you for your time. Good luck on your first session tomorrow with everyone. But thank you for everyone who joined us on our first edition of Build a Brand, because there will be more. But this was definitely to introduce Brandon's new seminar, Build a Brand series, which will start tomorrow, but you can register at the link below to get some information from the man behind the brand. So thank you so much, everybody. We were on here for 52 minutes.
It's pretty good.
I think this clears me from the team meetings like this week. So tell Destiny I don't have to report on Thursday.
All right, cool.
Thank
you.
Thank you, Taylor, for your. Wait a minute. We had other.
Yeah. I was my best friend, the one who encouraged me to even do this.
All right. Well, thanks, you guys. Thank you. Follow Beats and Beers, please. Brandon, we need to add that somewhere, like on the bottom, like.
Yeah. Right.
You know, we are. Thank y'all, and we will see you soon. But stay tuned for all the stuff we are dropping code about in this interview.
Yeah.
But stay drunk. Bye.